welcome back to Rolling Solo. My name is Adam Smith. We're playing through the City of Kings. I hope you've been enjoying the playthrough thus far. If you are just catching up with us now and you haven't seen the past videos, make sure to jump back and watch those so you can understand where we're at in the playthrough currently. A couple things to note, we have a couple giveaways going on the channel, so if you have not heard of them, this is your chance to get in. We have Hexplore It, which is currently on Kickstarter as well for an expansion. Link in the description below to jump in on that giveaway. We're giving away 2 copies of the Kickstarter edition for the base game, and also Maximum Apocalypse is also a Kickstarter edition which we're giving away as well, so don't miss out on either of those. Jumping into this playthrough right now, we had basically finished up at the end of the last video, at the end of a round. So we'll be starting at the very beginning of a new round to resolve a story. And we know very well that we completed chapter number 3. So moving down here to the objective, we defeated all visible creatures. As you can see in the land of the Ageless Realms, there are no creatures here. Of course, we do have some attention tokens, but those don't count as creatures, of course. When it's 2-player, the rewards are going to be 1 hope and 1 stat cube increase. So the 1 hope is very easy to do. We're going to be jumping ourselves from 2 to 3. That's fantastic because, as we know, we're basically gaining more time to hopefully progress even further through the chapters, which is great. The next thing we're going to do is each player is going to gain a stat cube increase on their character board. So we'll come right back and we're going to go ahead and bump up our stats. Alright, just before we go ahead with our stat cube increase, I want to make one correction from the previous video, and that was when the max health increased, because I chose to increase it on Talora, my actual health should have also increased as well at that particular time, and same would happen and apply over here with Calamus, which would also be at his max as well, because he would have got 1 additional health, which is going to stop either of them from needing to go back to the City of Kings, except for the fact Calamus needs to get rid of this poison. So I wanted to fix that now because it was noted in the last video. The one thing I really want to focus on, guys, and I also want to thank Mark Williamson for pointing this out, we really want to get our workers going. Now, the best worker group right now is with Talora. We currently have 2 unlocked workers here giving an extra action. We really want to try to get that extra action eventually on Calamus as well, but the other thing we want to focus on is we're 1 away from actually unlocking the head slot, and my thought process with Calamus right now is to gun after this particular item up here called the Helm of the North Wind, which is going to give us a bunch of different stat increases if we can get our hands on it. That's a really, really powerful unlock. So, and we have the available fish, ore, and wood to make that once we get our workers back to the City of Kings. So I'm going to go ahead I'm going to move this cube for Calamus to 5. So that's going to be his stat increase for this particular chapter, completion of chapter number 3. So now he's going to unlock the head slot. So we also can put things in both of those places. Over here, in terms of workers, I really want to boost my workers over here. I'm tempted to do the scavenge to boost them up as well, because scavenge is not a bad idea. We already know we have the possibility to get wood, ore, and fish. That's great. We don't have much for item parts. We're going to have to do, that's where the scavenging seems to be more important. Moving wouldn't be a bad idea. Being able to move them out 3 and back 3, I'm kind of tempted to punch this up to 3. And the reason being is that most of the really good resources are about 3 away or more. So like ores here, the water is 3 away from the City of Kings. It'd be really handy to be able to have our worker basically make a move action, do some work, and jump back in like the same turn. I think that could become really handy for not only the trade district, but anything else we need to do in terms of gathering resources. And then my next step for Calamus in the future will be to start bumping up his workers, whether I might actually make his workers better at scavenge, and then get to this 4 slot so we can unlock his particular extra worker as well as his stat. But that is going to sum up chapter number 3's card and the rewards for a 2-player game. All right, let's find out what's happening in chapter number 4. Chapter number 4, Hekia. A messenger arrives at your location with news of Hekia. Everywhere you search for signs of Vesh, you find them. There are black hands secretly dabbled on doors or carved into standing trees, but still the dark hand's main encampment eludes you. The horizon is now edged with the pyres of black smoke from the rampaging orcs. Vesh Darkhand has surprised the free peoples of the world, and everywhere is starting to burn. But here, now, you have a chance to at least slow the destruction. Masters, the newly arrived messenger pants, Hekia Bloodmother is encamped around the Tower of the North Wind. It will be a hard fight, but all of the heroes have faced worse. Calamus eventually fought its way free of the Cluwash depths with the help of Brutius. They survived, sort of, with the human prince now so scarred that every breath is painful, and Calamus a shadow of the creature it once was. Setup. Set up a Hekia Orc Template with boss stat bar 1 beside the starting player and place the Orc standee on the Tower of the North Wind tile. Alright, so let's do that. That sounds pretty crazy. So what we're going to do here is we're going to grab the Hekia template, which looks just like this. It has an innate kind of ability that's already stamped on it as a boss, which is going to be Fury. So we're going to have to look at that. It's going to be something that triggers on defense, so that's going to be nasty. Something we're going to have to look at when we're in that particular situation. Our first player always is Talora, so it will sit right here like this. And then on top of that, we're going to go ahead and grab boss stat bar number 1. I'm a little terrified to see what this is going to be. Wow, that's quite the jump. So 25 health, it's got 2 reflect damage, 2 defense, 2 heal, oh my goodness, and 9 range. Whew, we are going to have to find some way to deal with that. That's insanity. Okay, so you can see here there's no special abilities on the tile, thank goodness, because it's already bad enough as it is. So for a second there, I mistakenly thought it was a warbender. It actually is a standee of the boss itself. So that's pretty cool. We're going to have the first actual standee for a boss that we've had in this game. So as you can see, very, very cool. Artwork on both sides of the standee. This standee is going to be sitting at the Tower of the North Wind. So this is where this individual is going to be. Yikes. Let's see what else we got here. So the first thing for the objective is, of course, to defeat it and all other visible creatures we run across. Our rewards are you win. You may stop now or continue playing and attempt the heroic challenge. Wow. Okay, so we got an option to essentially win after this, or continue on with the heroic challenge, which I imagine would be even tougher. So let's go ahead now, as we've set up this particular chapter by resolving the story. We're going to move towards the time tracker now. So the time tracker is going to move the arrow from midday to afternoon. The really cool thing with this, we don't have any frost in play, but if you guys remember from the last video, we had a quest that was actually triggered by us being in a certain location by the afternoon. That location was the Goblin's Ear Delivery. So as you can see here, it says be at those particular caravans when the clock turns to the afternoon. And I am. I've got one of my heroes on that location, which is right here. So we have successfully completed our first quest, and that quest is going to give us 2 XP. Sadly, this doesn't give us a level, but it gets us oh so close to getting up to level number 7. And any experience, in my opinion, is good. The other thing that's going to be really handy is we're going to add 3 new equipment cards to the trade district. So that's really cool. So I'm going to go ahead, we're going to toss this one up here. We're going to go ahead here and grab 3 cards. The first one we got is an Elvish Hose. So we got some legs here. So this is like, almost looks like a dog. So it's going to be a plus for our heal if we have this character on us. That's actually not bad. That's a cheap one. So I've also rearranged the trade district. Legs here, body here, head here. So we have 2 head things we can build now. We have technically 2 legs things that we can create. Let's go ahead with the next one. Ooh, Gladiator Greaves. That looks pretty nice. These are actually pretty low cost items to make, so this could work out really well. So there's another one. I'll put this one with the with that particular one there, and we get 1 more. Hopefully it's body. Another legs. The Boots of Greenbird. We definitely have some stuff that can increase our health here. These 2 are fairly similar, so we'll go ahead like this actually now. We're running out of space. I may need to reorganize the way they're sitting, but we'll probably start creating them and depleting that trade market hopefully very, very soon. Okay, so that's going to resolve the all the quests. We only have 2 more quests remaining. One is take 3 ore and 2 fish to the City of Kings. We gain 2. One is locate 1 item part at a particular tower or at the Cave of Talak. So actually, we could potentially go for the Bethlehem Starstone if we remember with Talora on the turn and gain another experience and another trade district card. That could be really good, or equipment card. So we are currently there already, so it might not be a bad idea. So let's go ahead with the start of the player turn, and in this case it's going to be Talora, of course. First thing we do is resolve any impairments. Of course, we don't have any impairments. And then we're going to go to activate creatures. Now, this is something that I missed in the last video. So whenever a creature basically comes into play, and that includes bosses as well, those bosses and creatures don't activate the first time that they're brought into the game. So it's not going to trigger this time. Now, it didn't break any gameplay whatsoever from previous videos because at that particular time, same situation, there was nobody in range. So, and even in this situation, again, nobody's in range, so everything is fine. But one thing I do want to double check on, so that you guys are aware, is that Fury ability. I'd like to just kind of look into it and find out what we've got coming towards us here with that Fury, because that seems pretty nasty. So let's flip this page over here and reference the Fury section. So this one here is when this creature takes damage from a basic or special attack, add a green ability. Wow. That's nasty. That's really nasty. Okay, so yikes. So special attack is going to be anything that comes from this area right here, of course, in our skills area. I'm going to have to double check to see whether or not potentially a trap counts as a special attack. I don't think it does. So that might be our way of doing it without adding abilities. We might want to take it down with traps would be the best way. Of course, if we hit it with a basic attack, then of course that's going to trigger a green ability being added. So that's pretty nasty. So this ability area, as we chip away at the 25, could really start picking up. But anyway, at this point, we're going to jump into the round and start it off with Talora the Blessed and the actions that she can spend. Alright, so one thing you really want to notice about this game is even though the Chapter 4 has triggered and now our main objective is to kill the boss, we do have a lot of time still. Because remember, when this arrow goes up to midnight, we're going to lose a hope. It's going to go all the way around again, lose another hope, all the way again, and then we lose the game. So we have quite a bit of time. So when a boss comes out like this, especially one that doesn't have any abilities, when it happens to trigger, it's going to try to find targets in range and things like that, but there's nothing saying that we have to actually push the fight right now and have our characters be unequipped and not prepared for the boss. It might be better strategy to bring our guys back to the City of Kings with some resources and start equipping them with a whole bunch of trade district items that we can create, and then come back out and be able to do some serious heavy hit damage against this guy all at once. If we just try to nitpick it over a bunch of rounds, we're going to just inflict a ton of new abilities added to this boss, which is going to cause all kinds of problems for us. Not only that, Calamus also needs to get rid of his poison, so there's a number of reasons why we should get back here. So what I'm going to do with Talora for Talora's turn is I'm thinking, and another thing I can think of too actually off the top of my head is this is defend, incoming basic attacks are reduced by 1. That's good. One thing I just thought of, it was really cool, is this ability that I don't want to forget about when we get around to Calamus, which is Instill Fear. It says place one single -1 attack token on a creature in range. This can stack. So that's really cool. What I can do with Calamus is do a little bit of... well, I guess it's kind of dangerous because the range of this particular boss is 9. So wherever I am on the board, this boss is going to be able to spot me. And in order to actually put it on this creature or this boss, I'm going to have to be in range. And that's dangerous because I'm going to be taking damage. So it could help later on, but I'm not going to be able to use this without taking hits that I can imagine. So what we're going to do anyway, we're going to move back to Talora here, not get too distracted. There's a lot to think about when it comes to strategy here. Honestly, I think I mentioned this already. This game reminds me a lot of a way heavier version or advanced version of chess. That's essentially how I feel with this game. The worker placement, the action selection, you know, all the stuff that you have to position in terms of positioning on the map. It's really important to make the most efficient moves as best you can. I find that if you make one misstep, that's one action less that you get to take advantage of next time around, or it slows your progress. And of course, you've got the ticking time bomb of hope dropping down throughout the Ageless Realms, which also adds to the stress. So it's quite a bit to take in, but it's really fun. It's a nice ramp up in progression. Already I'm starting to feel it like we need to get moving here. So we've got 5 actions. What do I want to do? Well, Talora's got all those really, really good workers, and they're finally free of the monster. I could send them over to the Quiet Sea to do some work and hopefully gather a bunch of stuff. We also want to get Talora back to the City of Kings so that we can use those resources to get some cards into the equipment slots and boost some stats really quick. So what I'm going to do, and I also misspoke earlier when I said that Talora can actually do anything here involving this particular quest, because this quest would still need a worker to do the scavenge. I can't do that with the hero. So just want to clear that up too. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have Talora actually before I move Talora, because Talora's safe, won't be in range when it activates, so safe, is I'm going to have my worker actually move. So both of my workers are free and clear. They have lots of space. I'll move this worker into the Quiet Sea area. That's of course going to cause, and that actual worker is worker number 2, so that worker is being moved, so I'll put it like that for the first action. Second action is going to be to do a work action. We get to roll 4 dice, which is crazy high. So that's pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and get 4 gather dice here and see what we can come up with. And I'm hoping for lots of fish and not too many, because the danger here is I could end up pulling too many attention tokens, and that would be bad. So, oh, so close, so dangerously close. So I ended up getting 2 fish. Really pushed my luck on that one. So we ended up getting 2. And I also got 2 attention tokens, which are going to show up here in the Quiet Sea. Once we get that 4th one, a monster shows up. So that's why I was saying we're super close. That's really not good. Now, the only thing in the game that I know of yet that will take away those attention tokens is when this goes to midnight, which is kind of unfortunate. I was hoping to get a lot more resources out of that roll, and it didn't really pan out in my favor. So, knowing that didn't pan out, this might change my next moves by quite a bit. So the other thing that I could do, knowing that I still have 3, is I'd like to get some of these fish back to the City of Kings, as I mentioned, because I'd like to start equipping our guys. We got lots of things we can spend fish on. So what I'm going to do is, I know Calamus will be able to make it there, so I'm going to probably spend an action on my worker number 2 to send that worker back to the City of Kings. So, and the cool thing is that I now have a move of 3 because I bumped that up, and 3 is going to take me 1, 2 all the way back to the City of Kings, and I end my move action, which means 2 fish go into the old barn, and for the first time ever, we've got fish to spend, and that's fantastic. So that's going to be good when my heroes get back here. That was the worst gather roll I've ever seen. I hope I get better ones in the future. I have 2 more actions to spend. This is where it gets interesting. One action might be to just get Talora closer to the City of Kings for a future turn, so it might make sense. Now the question would be is, where could I go that would be worthwhile for her? Maybe go here and get a quest. Wouldn't be a bad idea. Something that could hopefully be useful. Now this running low one is interesting. This running low one says, this quest says, the city is running low again, comrades. Gather the things on this list, will you, and get them to the city. Take 3 ore and 2 fish to the City of Kings. So right now I actually have 2 fish, so I could potentially complete this quest right now in order to get 2 rewards, or I could go for the bigger one and get, it's hard because I really want to equip items, so I think I might hold off on this, even though 2 XP would get me another skill disc. That would be useful. That would be useful. I might wait on that. I might wait on it. I might regret that, but I'm going to wait on it for now. Because I think going after some of these where I get multiple benefits instead of just 1 is much better. So we're going to hold off on that for now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do Talora a move to Olston's Way right here. So that's going to be 1 move for Talora. And then the second thing here is we're going to go ahead and we're going to interact with that particular area in order to pull a quest card and hope it's something that's going to help us. Oh, that looks good. A word of warning. No, you don't want to know how I know. Just hear me when I say there is something after you. It's been following you for 3 days, and I don't think it means well. It's approaching from the south. Just a friendly word of warning. That's all. So someone's warning us something bad. Set up a creature and defeat it. Oh no, that's not good. The creature has an extra green ability. Ooh, that's going to throw a wrench into things. Set up a creature and defeat it. Creature has 2. Oh, so we can kind of toy with how many resources we want. I don't want to give it too many green abilities. I don't want it to be extra nasty. I think I'm going to go with this one to be safe. I think, because I didn't really plan for this, but this will give us some resources, so that's not bad. So let's do option A. So let's set up a creature and defeat it. The creature has a green ability. So we're going to go ahead here. We're going to grab this one here, which is Hudra's Horde. And the funny thing is, this is actually going to land in Talora's area, so we're going to actually be having 2 monsters in the future activating for Talora. And of course, the boss will be the first one. We got to grab a stat bar, which I'm sure is going to be extra nasty. Now that's a new... Oh, okay, it's not as bad. Ooh, we got a yellow... ooh, no, that's not good. Set up a creature. The creature has an extra green ability. Oh, geez. So it's going to have a yellow plus a green. And, yeah, the stats are definitely going up. So we're going to go like this. Now, as you can see here, I didn't put the health for the boss. So let's go ahead and do that. It's 20. So there's a 20 up top and a 5 down below. The new creature that we have down here is a 7. So let's go ahead and put a 7 there. Yikes. And then we're going to go into the medium bag. This is the very first time I've ever done that. So we're going to go into this medium bag. We'll probably see something that we don't want to see, which is some nasty ability. Oh my goodness, there's 2 of them. Oh, that's really bad. Vilings and Panic. Okay, well we know what Panic does from previous run-ins with other creatures, but what does that other one do? If there are Vilings, move the Vilings token 1 tile toward the closest hero, ignoring any heroes located in the City of Kings at any point if the Vilings move on the same time. Okay, so this must be a certain type of token. It's likely one of these guys in here that I haven't seen yet. So that's not going to really come into effect or do anything to us just yet. So that's good. We got to grab the War Banner for it. And the War Banner, based on this particular one, and of course we're not done yet. We technically have to grab a green. We have to grab a green ability as well because, you know, the game's trying to punish us with a medium and an easy. Ugh, this is sketchy. Firebolt. Okay, so we've seen, I think it was Poison Bolt before, but Firebolt, that's also nasty. So now we've got those, and again, they're all in order. So 15 at the top, 45, and then 72 for kind of when they activate. I imagine Firebolt's going to start initiating fire shots at us, which will be fun. Okay, so we've chosen the top one, which is option A. Set up a creature and defeat it. The creature has the 1 extra green ability. Cool, we've done that. And then, of course, these are our rewards if we do it. So we just got to beat this creature. The War Banner is right here. And it does say set up a creature and defeat it. So my assumption would be that it's sitting right here on the same tile as us. We'll take this quest card, put it right here. And we're going to... It'll be something to go after for sure. The really nasty thing about this is this popped up at the end of my actions. So I can't even go after it this turn, which is really unfortunate. It might be worth it to actually have Calamus head over there and maybe just take a nice shot at it, seeing as Calamus has 5 attack. That's pretty strong. There's no reflect damage either. Ooh, it might be worthwhile to do that. I'm thinking that's a smart choice. Tempting, tough to say. Okay, well that definitely threw a wrench into my plans. So what we're going to do next is, that is the end in terms of all the actions for Talora. Moving over here to Calamus. Now Calamus has a whole different setup. Of course, we only have 4 actions with Calamus, so a little less. Now, the one thing that's going to happen the second his turn triggers is we're going to lose a point of health because of the poison, which is still slowly hurting him. We also have 4 actions here to spend. Now, this is where things get interesting. I have one of his workers here. That worker has a bunch of items on him. Doesn't move very fast. It's going to take a very long time to get that worker back to the City of Kings. So that's kind of the downside. I may have to... Whew, that's unfortunate. I really do need to get the wood back, though, because there's a lot of items in here that need wood. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to... Let's see here. I'm going to take a quick second here and double check to see whether anything can be done with 2 different workers like this. Whether I can actually trade off my gear from this worker to this worker if I happen to move in the same spot. And then this worker on the next turn can jump back to the City of Kings really quick. So I'm going to double check to see if workers can actually trade resources between them when they're on the same tile. Alright, so I looked into it, and no, sadly, no workers can trade between themselves that I'm aware of, and there's nothing in the rulebook that states that workers can trade. Heroes, if they're on the same space, can trade things, but workers cannot. So sadly, I cannot move the resources from this worker to this one if I happen to be in the same tile. So that's unfortunate. I'm going to have to slowly creep this guy back to the City of Kings. So what we're going to do now with Calamus is focus more so on the monster that's out here, which is going to really cause problems for Talora as soon as it activates. It's not a pleasant one. It's a decent monster, as we've seen. It's got the ability to do a basic attack, an attack all. It's got the ability to heal. It's got defense. It's got a bunch of abilities. We need to get rid of this thing. And the bonus being that we'll gain some extra resources, as we talked about. So that's a plus. So let's go ahead now and attack this thing. So first we're going to move Calamus into position by doing this. So this is going to push him 1, 2. Now we are within range easily to this monster. We're going to go ahead and attack it to start. We're going to get 5 going in, and we get to roll 1 die for luck, thanks to Calamus's luck die that he has. Hoping for something big here. Nice, so it's just 1 extra, so 6 damage total. Now, if we go ahead and take a look at the defense side of things for this particular monster, the only thing that's going to trigger at this particular point, because there's no shield icons anywhere along these abilities, is just a 2, which is going to reduce the attack from 6 down to 4. So it's not as strong of attack, but hey, that's half of his life. So 7 down to 3. Not bad. So we're going to try to do this again. We're going to hope that we can also get past with this next attack, and this will work out. The other thing to make mention of, and I may not have shown this on camera, I'm kind of thinking I may or may not have forgotten to show this on camera, but I did remove 1 health for poison for starting his turn. So if I forgot to actually talk that out, now you know that that's what happened. That's why he's not at full max. Anyway, we're going to the attack again. So we're going to go another 5 damage at this guy plus the luck die. So let's hope it's a good one. 50%. Awesome. So when it comes to a die that lands at 50%, when it's involving an attack and you're adding up your total amount and things like that, a 50% stat die is always going to round up. So it's going to end up being 3. Because I'm attacking with a 5. So it's going to be 8 total damage, and well, even with the shield of 2, 6 damage is way more than enough to kill this guy off. So well done, Calamus. You've saved the day. We're going to be putting those back in the stat bags. This is gone. This guy was as quickly put in the game as he was removed, which is fantastic. We're going to go ahead here, take a look at the stat bar for this guy. So 2 XP is going to jump me 1, 2 to 14, which is going to unlock another stat. So that's awesome. What I'm going to do now is going to take this, throw it away. We're going to go ahead and do that stat right now so we don't forget about it. The really cool thing now is we're moving up to the next tier because we have to go up. I mean, we don't have to, but I want to. So we're going to go up to the next tier with Talora here. So Talora is going to have a chance to go all the way over here to the temple for the stat cards and choose what is going to be the card that's going to sit in tier number 2. So there's a bunch of options there. The biggest ones I think that are most important for Talora would probably be a mix of movement and anything that would help with scavenging and things like that. So what I'm thinking to do is probably go this route with Talora. I think this one right here is a great one for Talora. It's going to give movement for the hero, which could be useful later on with a double. It's also got the ability to up scavenge, health, and gather, which is, you know, this is one of the things that Talora is really good at. Now, the only other options that could come into play would be this one, scavenge, this is range, this is movement. But I don't really need that right now. Movement could be really helpful, though. Could be really helpful. And it would take a while for me to get up to those 2 feet. It's the only downside with that one. You know what? I'm thinking to change this out. I'm going to change my mind on this. I'm going to go with this one. I think this one's better for Talora. So we're going to go ahead with this one. So this is going to slot into here. And of course, I'm going to choose to probably take, well, I guess I'll be taking the range first. That's the funny thing about this, is it's got a lot of ones I want, but man, that first one's not one I'm really all that excited about. I don't really need range with her right now, and she's not really a big fighter either. But I don't like the way the other ones are set up as much. So this is tough. Although a luck die wouldn't be bad with her either. So maybe something like this wouldn't be bad. So tough. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. No, the health is good. The health is good. Yeah, the health's really good. I gotta stick with that one, I think. So we're going to go with that. So this is going to be a skill disc I'm going to put on range. So this is going to bump the range up to 2. So actually nothing changes there, so that's kind of sad actually. But I think I just like the other abilities in this pool better than anything else. And right now the next stat cube we get here, or skill disc I should say, we could go after Stigmata if we wanted to. It says anytime after a basic attack damages you, you may heal a hero in range. That's fantastic. So we want to get our heal bumped up, if anything. The other thing you do with the temple as soon as you take a card is you replace it. So a new card is going to come out. This is going to be something that hopefully... Ooh, that's kind of nice. A remove curse. That's interesting. Remove 1 curse from a hero in range. That's really good. So we're going to go over here to Calamus, do the exact same thing. We're going to take a skill disc. We got to pick a tier 2 card for him. Again, biggest things for him are going to be things that are going to help probably his workers. I'd like to get that 5th action. I think that's going to be really handy later on. And I'd also like to potentially move, if I could get the worker speed up, that'd be awesome. But it might be good to get Calamus moving a bit quicker. The only downside is going to take a while to get there. So if I wanted health and movement, this might be the one for Calamus. I think this is the one. So I'm going to go with this one for tier 2. We're going to go like this, which is a foot. So that's going to increase his movement. Again, it just gets him to 2. The best you can have is 3. So it's a slow progression up, but that's going to be really helpful to move around the map fast later on. So that's good for that. The next thing that I can do, now that I've killed that off, I still have 1 action left with Calamus, so we're still kind of in the middle of things. I also want to resolve the quest, because the quest says that the set up 1 creature defeated. We've done that right now. So as of right now, we actually gain another reward, a log, a fish, and a stone. Now, because it is my hero that's doing this and not a worker, these immediately go into the old barn, just so that there's clarity there. They obviously can't be stored and not put on a worker because they weren't using a worker scavenge action or anything like that. So 1 wood, we're going to have the fish increase by 1. We're going to have the ore increase by 1. That's fantastic. And then we're going to, of course, gain 1 XP, which is going to put us on the next stat cube increase, which is awesome. So now we've got another stat cube, and then this one has been the a word of warning has been resolved. So another stat increase for these guys. What do I want to focus on? This is the fun part. Judging by what I've got going on here, movement and scavenge look like they're coming up next. I've also got health that'll bump up in the future. So I might want to do something that... heal. I have been really ignoring heal quite a bit, and I think we're going to need that in the future. So let's go ahead and get our heal to 2. I want to be able to have both characters be somewhat useful in the heal category, so that's a good one. Plus, I don't have any free bumped up in heal in this area, so that's not bad. Not until... Well, I got a couple ones up here. I got like Wish. These are special abilities that I potentially could use, but I want to get that up higher. And that's, again, going to help us if we want to go after this particular special ability later on. So stat cube increase over here for Calamus. What do we want to bump up? That is the question. Well, we really want to get to this extra worker, and having them move faster might be better. So let's get the workers on him going a bit. Oh, the other thing too is health. Health. He's a fighter. He's going to need health. Now, technically, the next time we get to a skill disc upgrade, I could go after health, which would be 3 XP away. But man, health is so worth it. Especially, it's very important. Tough to say what I should do here. Let's go with... Yeah, you know what? The monsters are getting nastier and nastier. Let's go with health. We're going to need it when we face this boss. This boss is going to be hitting us for like 6 damage. Yeah, we need it. So we're going to bump up our health. And according to some of you guys that are watching, when you bump up your max health, you also bump up your current health. So it's kind of like a 1-on-1 bonus. So that's fantastic. So now we're up to 6 with Calamus. Being a fighter, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so that was all of that. We still have an action with Calamus, although we've used move and 2 attack. We have explore, special, and interact. I don't have much more that I can do this way, but I could have my worker start moving back. So that might be what I'll do here with worker number 1, is I'll probably start progressing worker number 1 back to the City of Kings. It might take a little bit, but we'll get there eventually. And that's going to wrap up all the actions for our heroes currently, and that's essentially going to wrap up the round. So yeah, I wasn't able to get the poison marker off. The next plan here is to get my 2 individuals back into the City of Kings. We're going to also try to get all of these workers back. I can get this worker back now in 2 actions of movement and get all of them back, really. We're going to load up the old barn. We're going to start equipping a whole bunch of items that are going to boost our stats even further, and we're going to get prepared, and then we're going to head back out and go after this guy over here. So this is going to be quite the interesting one. The one thing I might want to do is consider moving this back out to here and potentially gathering ore on the next turn and building some traps. We'd like to get our ore even higher. Anyway, hope you guys are enjoying it so far, and we'll be back in a few seconds with the next round. All right, so we're back with the City of Kings, and we're back with another round for the game. Now we're going to go ahead and try to resolve the story, which we can't do because we have not defeated Hekia and other visible creatures on the map just yet. We still are doing that as part of our chapter number 4. And we're looking for the setup area here, as well as the objective being the prime area of interest, and that is going to be defeating this guy right here. So we're going to be continuing on here with our turn, and that is going to move us to the time tracker. So the time tracker is going to move from afternoon to evening, and anything that has fire currently in the land is going to wane down, which we don't have any of. And there we go. So we are in the evening. We're going to go ahead starting from here to the player turns. So the first player turn, of course, will be Talora. We have no impairments on Talora whatsoever, so we can skip that step and we can go ahead and activate. So let's get all these actions reset so that we can go ahead, pick 5 things to do with Talora the Blessed. Pretty excited to see how this is going to pan out. Alright, so Talora the Blessed has 5 actions. How are we going to best use those actions? So let's put the Calamus here to the side so we can actually see Talora in the back. First thing is we want Talora to get to the City of Kings this turn. And the reason being is we want Talora to have the ability to potentially interact with the trade district if we have the resources we need. But in order to have the resources we need lots of wood. A lot of the resources up here in order to use an interact action in the City of Kings to create one of these things, or multiple of them if you'd like. Because if you do an interact action inside the City of Kings, you can create as many of the shop items as you have resources to do. So it's, even though you're spending 1 action, you can do multiple creations. The only thing is I have to have the resources in there, and right now my wood is very low, and as you'll notice from all the cards in the trade district, majority of them need wood, which we're going to need to grab. But the cool thing about Talora is she has some of the best moving in terms of 3 action or 3 space movement for workers, as well as some of the most crazy dice rolling for gathering. So if anyone is going to get the resources back to the City of Kings, it's going to be Talora and her workers. So we currently have 1 worker that's already on its way. Both workers at this point are empty, and this one is the one we're talking about with the flat bed in the back. So we're going to likely be having this one go off to the wood area here. Now there is a risk because there's 1 monster or 1 attention token here. If this goes to 4, a monster could show while we're trying to gather. We're rolling 4 dice when we gather, so the odds are extremely high we could potentially go over, but I have to risk it because we really do need some wood resources to basically be able to equip ourselves in the City of Kings to go after Hekia. Sorry, Hekia. I'm going to pronounce that correctly. So we're going to basically have this worker, which is worker number 1, move 2 spaces of its available 3 movement, and we get that from the worker section here at 3. I'm only using 2 of it though, but that's worker number 1 for 1 move action. Next up, we're going to go ahead and do a work action. This is where things get fun. So we're going to be doing a gather action here. We have currently 4 gather. Oops. 4 gather dice to roll, so we're going to be grabbing 4 of them, and we're going to be crossing our fingers we don't see any attention. We don't want to draw any attention from this particular location. We just need tons of wood, so here's hoping. Okay, that's not terrible. So that was 1 attention, but we ended up getting 3 wood, and that's actually really good. So we got 3 wood, which we'll put into this area here like so. And 1 attention token, which we'll put on that location. So now the risk is even higher if we attempt to do this again. So my question to myself has to be, do I want to try to load this thing up to 6, or is that overkill? So right now we have 1 in the old barn. If we get this worker back, all these 3 will go into the old barn. We'll have a total of 4. If we're looking at all the items we can buy, currently we would need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to build everything. I don't think we need all of them. in order to do it, because I don't think we're going to be able to build all of them anyway. Although we might be able to, actually. Yeah, actually it's pretty close. 2, 3, 4. We might have to... Yeah, we might have to wait off on one of them. Oh, it's such a hard decision as to whether or not we want to go ahead and push this any further. Very, very risky. And if we pull a monster, then we have to deal with it. It might be worth it to just not. Now, if a monster comes, we know it's going to be ramped up in difficulty. That might actually delay things. We only have so much time, or at least we'd like to progress quickly. So I'm going to say we're going to stop here. We're going to say we're going to take a safe bet, because we also know one from each of these tiles will be removed when the clock hits the top. So that's not bad, actually. What we'll do now is try to get this worker back to the City of Kings. Now, the funny part about this is that worker can only move 3 for every move action, and sadly that's going to put the worker 1, 2, 3, which is not even going to be able to get it into the City of Kings this turn, which is really frustrating because I need that wood right now. So what we're going to have to do is we have to debate, do we sit there one more round and do another gather for the next turn and then move back, and we can probably pull that off? Probably. So I'm going to have that worker stay there so that one of these tokens at the beginning of the next round will disappear, and then we'll try to gather more. It'll be a little greedy. In terms of this particular guy, he's not doing anything. We could get him out there, and you know what? Getting some more ore would be great, because ore would allow us to build these other resource type tokens like traps or camps or potentially a barrier. I think a trap would be awesome. We could use a trap against him. So let's go get some ore, I think is a smart decision. So I'm going to have this worker, I'm going to have it not go here for its movement because there's already a token here. I'm going to have it go here to the Cog's Head Works area, and that's going to take one of my actions. So for worker number 2, and we're going to do the same thing, but we're gathering for ore this time. So here's hoping we get the ore that we need. Oh, sorry, before I do this, I'll spend that action. We only have one after this to spend, and that's going to be my thought process to get Talora into the City of Kings. So here we go, and oh, there we go. That's perfect. So 4 ore, that's awesome. So that ended up being extremely well worth it. We didn't even get a single token there. That's a decent amount. So let me see here. Yeah, so it goes into worker number 2 for all the ore. That's good. And oh shoot, my mistake. I didn't notice this one. I rolled all 4. I thought it was a clean roll. It was not. There was a monster or an attention token hiding off in the distance. So there we go. So we've got one, but those are going to disappear in the next when this thing goes to midnight anyway. So I'm not too concerned about that. All right, we got one more action to do. Is there anything productive we can do now? Right now, technically, Talora's on a quest, so I could sit Talora here because as of right now, this guy here, Hekia, does not have any range to Talora, so we'd be safe if I left her out there. In terms of these, we have running low, which we could potentially go after, but going after a quest may not be a bad idea before we go back to the City of Kings on the next turn. So let's do it. Let's interact and see if we get a quest that's good. The only downside would be is if this particular quest... Now, we had a quest last time, spawn a monster, and that was really inconvenient, so I'm kind of debating whether that's going to help us or not. It's going to, if anything, it's going to slow things down. The other thing I could do is I could, let me think here. Healing's not worth it because Calamus is definitely going to go back here and lose his poison on his turn. So with one more action, I can explore, I can do a special, I can interact. All right, so what are we going to do for the last action for Talora? We'll have Talora head back to the City of Kings. I think that's the safest route. So move 2, that's going to be 1 move action. And Talora is now complete. That turn is over. We're going to move over to Calamus. Sadly, Calamus has to resolve impairments, and that would be 1 poison. So that's going to knock him down to 4 health. Now we got 4 actions to spend with Calamus. So we're going to take all the actions out of his area. And we need to figure out a plan of attack here. So 4 actions. What could we do? Now we have this particular individual coming back to the City of Kings, so we could do that. We got some wood as well as a fish. That's actually, I forgot about that wood, so we really are overkilling this by keeping that worker there. I guess I really didn't need to leave it there. I forgot about the fact that Calamus had wood. That's overkill on the wood side of things. Shoot, that didn't work out as... Well, that's okay. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so anyway, that's a plus for us at the end anyway, because maybe what we can do is use it to resolve the running low quest, which is ore and fish anyway. So let's go ahead here and try and get that worker 1 back. Now, the workers, how fast are they moving? They are moving, oh geez, not very fast at all. 1 space for Calamus, so that's not very good. So I could get it back though this turn, so let's do that because we want to get as much in here as possible. So I'm going to spend 2 actions with my worker number 1 to move. That's kind of painful because it's like half my actions to get the worker back to City of Kings, which allows me to go ahead and bump up my wood. So I have 1 currently in the old barn, as you can see. I'm putting 3 more in, so we're just going to take the 3 that are in here, throw them away. We're going to jump this up to 4, and then we've got another fish that we gathered. So now we have 4 wood and a fish. And we still have 2 item parts. We need 1 more to start generating a new type of equipment we can build. So at this point, that works. In terms of Calamus, where Calamus is right now is in the Granite Halls. To be in the City of Kings to be able to do any kind of creation up here or interacting. So let's go ahead now and get Calamus back. So we're going to move Calamus back to the City of Kings. Instantly, the second that he goes back to the City of Kings, his poison is now eliminated or healed. He goes back to full health, so he's up to 6 now, which is fantastic. And at this point, we have 1 more action remaining, and I'm absolutely going to interact. So at this point, with interacting, it allows me to go ahead to this trade district here and start spending as many resources as I want to bolster him. Now, I want to make him really powerful because he's one of my biggest, heaviest hitters, and I'm going to continue to jack up his strength in attacking. So do we have anything up there currently that is going to boost his attack? No, we don't. Do we have anything in here that's going to increase anything else? We have things like Beggar's Boots, which gives luck rolls. Those would be really handy in a fight because that would give extra dice. That would get our luck from 1 die to 2 dice if I decide to go that route. Now remember, I can only create what I have resources for, and I can only have 1 legs item, 1. So right now, technically, these are the 3 I have to choose from. You can see here, if I take one of these, I actually boost my health overall. So I have to choose, do I want to be able to heal more or do I want to have more life? That's a tough decision. I think, based on the fact that I'm going to be fighting this guy, I'm probably going to want more health or more life. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to spend 1 wood in order to take, I guess I can pick between the Gladiator Greaves or the Boots of Greenbeard. I'm going to take the Gladiator Greaves. Oh, sorry, actually, I just realized my mistake. I already have the Boots of Vesh, which are giving me an extra attack. So I do not want to replace those. My mistake. So let's put that wood back to 4. So the boots I'm going to skip past. Let's move to the helmet, because I have, as you can see here, unlocked the ability to wear a helmet because there's the helmet symbol underneath. And if you hit any one of these stats to this row, this helmet or head area is open. So let's go for a helmet. I've got the Helm of the Northwind is the only helmet available. So I'm sorry, that's actually 2. This one or potentially this one. So this one down here gives me tons of health, range, and gathering. This one gives me 2 heals, range, and some scavenging as well. I want the health. I want this for sure. This is going to cost me 1 wood, 2 fish, and an ore. Now let's take a quick look at the body really quick to make sure there's nothing here that I can't afford. Okay, I'll be able to afford either of those, whichever I want, even if after I spend these resources. So wood is going to go down to 3, fish is going to drop down to 2, and ore is going to drop down to 6. And just like that, we've got a new awesome head ability here. Now what is this going to do? Let's actually get those stats bumped up for this. So the first thing is, when these increase your health, your actual maximum health here is going to go up by 2. So it's going to be 1, 2. Now we're at 8, which means when I actually bump those up, my actual health goes up as well. So now we're at 8. That's fantastic. Range-wise, our range is going to go from 2 to 2. So not much of a change there, but we're hoping to get to 3 eventually. My scavenge skill for my workers is going to go from 1 to 2. That's good. And then gathering is actually going to get better for these guys. Not a bad one for Calamus, who desperately needs that kind of stuff. So there we go. And we've now resolved that. We can slot that right in. So the only other thing that we can fit in here would be, at this point, would be a body card. So let's do that. Coming over to the body, we have, we only have 1. So I thought we had 2, but we only have 1. So we're going to probably be just taking this one. Hey, it's got lots of movement and range. That's fantastic. So I think this makes sense for now because we don't have any other options and we want to get prepared to fight. So range is always good. We can hit from a long distance, plus fast movement. So to get back maybe to City Kings to heal. So let's go ahead and pay a wood and a fish resource in order to equip the battle plate of the adventurer, which looks pretty cool. So this is going to be 1 wood down to 2, and then 1 of the fish down to 1. Okay. Now this is going to go on me, and I'm going to gain 2 movement. So my movement now has actually gone from this bar and crosses into this one. So now I'm at 3 movement. That's pretty crazy. Don't gain anything special from that. And then range-wise, same thing. Goes from 2 to 3, and then 3 to 3. So there we go. We got some good range now, and this is going to sit on me. So I'll just go ahead and put this here. Let's do this in order. So we got head first, then body, and then legs. All right, we're all stacked up in there. Okay. Whew. Wow, that was quite the stat increase, and technically we are out of actions now. We don't have any left. One thing that I just realized that I missed, guys, was on Talora's turn, so we're done all our player turns, I forgot to actually activate our actual main villain. Now the thing is, our main villain is not going to activate, so that's kind of why I passed over it without mentioning it. Just want to make mention of the fact that he doesn't have range, he cannot acquire any targets right now, so I skipped over his turn, which would have activated during Talora's turn. So again, I'm just going a little bit of a quicker pace at this point, so if I happen to miss that and you thought I didn't see it, just want to let you know that I'm going to stop explaining things and kind of moving a little faster. At least I'm going to try to. It's tough. Okay, so at this point, we are done player turns. So the next thing we're going to do here is we're going to go to resolving the story, which we still can't do because we still have our big boss up here in the Tower of the North Wind. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to tip this thing to midnight. So what happens essentially is we are going to lose 1 of the attention tokens off every tile that has one. So we're going to go boom, boom, 1 off here, 1 off here. So that actually drops quite a bit of attention off. And then on top of it, we're going to end up losing a hope. So we're down to 2 now. So 2 more cycles around the track, or 2 more days before we run out of time. Okay, so the time has been resolved. We'll go to the player turns. Again, the very first turn that's going to go is going to be Talora. Again, I would typically go ahead and action Hekia, but not going to happen because of the range and the inability to lock in a target. So we're okay there. So we're going to go right back to Talora's turn. So let's get all these actions out of here. Put them all back. We've got 5 as normal. Now what we're going to want to do for Talora is we're going to probably want to have Talora get the workers back to the city, and maybe have some of those workers that can move really fast, like 3 movement, get them moving with some traps and stuff. I think would be fantastic. So that would be awesome if we could plant those traps and then maybe have them get activated to hurt this villain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let me think about this. We want to definitely bring some of them back. I might want to risk it for the wood 1 more time. The other thing I can think about right now is the fact if we says take 3 ore and 2 fish to the City Kings and you gain 2 XP. We don't have that fish right now, but if I was, ooh yeah, we're 1 shy on the fish. We could have got that last turn, I guess, but we'll get some fish at some point here. Maybe when I want to risk it and go back to the Quiet Sea again, or I could potentially scavenge. But anyway, we want to get some more ore. Currently, this guy right here has, how much ore is on that one? That's worker number 2, 4. So we can carry 2 more. I'm going to do a gather there. So worker number 2 is going to do a work action. To gather, I get 4 dice. We're going to cross our fingers here and hope that this ends up being successful enough for me to fill up my entire cart full. Wow, that was, oh, that's not bad. 5 and then 2. So we definitely got some attention doing our work in there, but at the same time, we also gathered up enough to max out the worker, which is kind of what I wanted. So now we've got 6 in here. Then what we're going to do is we're going to have this worker head back to the City of Kings. So we're going to go movement. Now my workers for Talora have 3 movement. So this worker can easily go 1 and 2, and bam, we've got the worker back. This wood's going to go, all 3 wood's going to go in, which is going to take our wood up to 5. So these wood are going to be removed now. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong one. My mistake, wrong worker. Never mind, we're just talking about this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is going to go to 12. So it'll be 10 and 2. So we got lots of ore in there now in the old barn, and all these get removed. There we go. Okay, we still have 3 actions remaining on Talora. With all that ore, the question might be, do we want to create a trap? I think so. I think it makes perfect sense. I think it'd also be good to get Talora to potentially boost some stats, as there's nothing in here for her at all. So maybe using an interact action would be good at this point first to see what we can go ahead and make for her. She doesn't have anything, so the best thing for her probably is going to be things like health. Going after that mask is probably a good thing because she can heal. Maybe she can back up Calamus out there. That actually wouldn't be a bad idea at all. Now the downside is, oh, I needed one more fish. So as of right now, I cannot do this because I don't have the fish. That's really bad. Shoot, because this would have been a fantastic card to get for healing. We need to get that. One fish would give a boost to luck, which would actually unlock the luck die on Talora, which would help on healing. And that's not bad, actually. Might be worth it to do that instead. Yeah, let's do that. We don't have the fish we need. Well, let's think about this. Before we do any more buying, I'll take that interact back first, because I want to think, can I actually do anything with the other worker that's out here to potentially get back? So if I had this worker move to here and do a scavenge and hope to get a fish, and then on its turn it would have one more, so that would be one move, one work, move back. Yeah, I wouldn't have enough to actually interact and create it, but it might be worth a shot. It might be worth a shot. Let's do it. Well, let's do it. Let's risk it. So worker number 1 is going to move. We're going to move to the Cripplewood Canyons. This is a scavenge action, so it's going to be 1 die. It's certainly not as good as normal, and the chances that I actually land a fish on this, I'm sure, are quite low. I've jammed 6 dice into the tray, so this could take 20 minutes for me to get the die out that I need, because I'm going to keep flipping them around with my fingers. So just give me 2 seconds here while I peel this die out. There we go, got it out. That was way more struggle than I thought it would be. Or, yeah, we got everything. Or fish, there's a chance for anything. So here we go. The worker now has to, of course, work. So, boom, there's my work, my move and my work. I have 1 left after this. Come on, fish, that's what we want. Of course. A 1 in 6 chance to screw up, and what happened? Okay, so there we go. We got sighted there. That wasn't good. That totally backfired. So, because of that, a little mishap, we have 1 more action left. I mean, I'm not going to make it back anyway, and Talora can stay there 1 more round. Maybe I just give us another shot. Let's work again with worker number 1. Can't hurt me, right? Already out there. Gotta do what I can, so... Oh, wood! I wanted something else. Wood's not bad, I guess, though, but it's not what I wanted. So I got 1 wood, okay. Well, that's it. That's all my actions for Talora. So Talora is now done. And with Talora done, we're going to move over to Calamus. So Calamus has no impairments now, thankfully not poisoned, but is now a little bit better suited to get out there and do something nasty. Now, the one thing I might want to do with Calamus's worker is potentially get this worker moving. Now, the move is really bad on Calamus's worker. Only 1. It would take forever. So if I spend a whole bunch of ore on a trap, it would take me forever to get it up there. So it's better to keep my worker for Calamus close to the City of Kings at all times when it's gathering. So I might just send it up to the Granite Halls and see if we can do some ore there. So I'm going to move up there. I'm going to, that's going to, of course, I got to reset my actions here. So reset them. We're going to move the first worker up, and we're going to do a work action. So when I'm gathering, though, I'm now up to 2, which isn't as terrible as it was. And that's a gather, so it's 2 of these blue dice. Let's roll and see what we get. Hey, 5! What a fantastic roll. That's awesome. Okay, that's really good. That's a lot of, that's a good chunk away from getting a trap. That's really good. So now we got 5 ore. That's fantastic. Okay, so that worked out nicely. So 5, that's more than enough. I don't think I want to risk it any further. Wouldn't be worth it. I've got 2 more actions to use. I'm probably going to say, let's move the worker back to the City of Kings. So boom, back to the City of Kings. Ore goes in, it's 5. So this is going to jump right up to 7. So now we have 17 ore, which is fantastic. That's enough actually to build 2 traps now. And what I'm thinking logically is to get both of my yellow workers back to the City of Kings, and we're going to load up on 2 traps, and we're going to send them right at this particular guy, because again, the trap damage is equal to my level, which right now would be 8, which is a pretty decent hit. That's 16 damage. So that could be really useful in taking this guy down. So that'll do. That's pretty good. I think at this point, that's all. Let me think. I moved out. That's 1. I worked, moved back. Oh, I guess I technically, yes, I do. I still have the 1 action left. So what do I do with that last action? Do I send myself back out to work? Do I get Calamus on the move? Calamus doesn't move that fast. Let me see what his move is again. Where is his move? Oh, never mind. Calamus moves pretty quick now. Oh, yeah, that's right, because we beefed him up quite a bit. So Calamus's move value's decent. He's got 3, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's pretty good. So he could get himself way up there. I'm trying to see. Interesting. So the only way to unlock the arms unlock for equipment is to get up to 10, so get up to 10 for health, or 7 for attack. So Calamus has a chance to get up there eventually. But what do I do with that last action? Interact, special. Nope, special can't be triggered right now because I'm not in range. Attack is slower. Special. I don't think there's anything I can do. I could just, like I said, I could just send my worker out again to gather more ore. Yeah, let's do that. So I'm going to send him back to here as a move. Oh, can I do that? No, I can't. I can only move twice. It's I've run out of spots to put it. So for my last one, kind of stuck here. Interacting has no use right now. Special attack. Actually, I don't have my second worker unlocked. No point in exploring. I can't. I guess I could move. I could move Calamus out. Maybe I can move Calamus to the quest to see if that can help us. Maybe we can get something that's going to help us out, maybe level-wise or something. So I'll get him moving somewhere. I don't want to have him just sit and do nothing. So 1, 2. So we'll get Calamus to move out, and that'll be my final action. The best thing to do in this game is if you can't do anything that you really want to do, like in this case, I don't necessarily need to do that, but you should always make use of all your actions. Don't burn actions because they'll come back to hurt you later. So I moved him to there. That essentially is going to end this particular round. All right, so we're going to start up the next round here, and we're going to go ahead with resolving the story, which we can't because there he is, still alive in the tower. We're going to go to the time tracker. Time tracker is going to tip to early morning. All right. Again, all ice would fade in the area, but we have none. Then we continue on with Talora. Again, before Talora goes, we always resolve monsters, but this monster is a boss, and regardless of monster or boss, this individual doesn't have any priority targets or nothing is in range, so nothing will happen attack-wise. So that's fantastic. So now he's just locked up in his tower forever until we engage him. So what we're going to do here is Talora is going to start the turn off and has the most actions. I love Talora's ability to use all these actions. I really wish I had that with Calamus. Got to get those workers better. Okay, so what were we doing here? We were trying to get a scavenge of a fish here. That was our hope, right? We could try it here. The reason I'm not is because I'll just generate a monster and delay everything. So I'm going to try going after this again. We're going to see, hopefully, whether this pans out. So I'm going to go ahead with worker number 1, and we're going to do a work action. So we're going to take this scavenge die. We're going to cross our fingers. We're going to hope for the best. An axe. Hey, well, actually, an axe would get us up to the next position. Actually, that would get us to a 3, which will allow us to generate a new item in the inventory, so that's not bad. I'm going to do that one more time. So worker number 1, we're going to do another work action because we want to keep on trying for that fish. Ugh, another axe. Well, we're totally filled up now. So we got 6 resources. It's time to head home. So at this particular point, I can actually just go ahead and use a move action on this worker number 1, and it'll go 1, 2, 3, and all the way back to the City of Kings. Everything can get dropped off, so that's going to be 2 going to 4, and we'll throw those away. We're going to have 1, 2, 3, and 4 wood go in. So it's going to drop us from 2 to 6. So we've definitely got quite a bit of resource generation going on, which is fantastic. And what are we going to do next here? We've got 2 more actions to go. So what do we do? Do I risk it and go over to the Quiet Sea? and try to get a whole bunch of fish and risk a potential monster popping up? That is the question. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and risk this because I do not want to wait any longer. So let's go ahead and have a move action with worker number 1. So we're going to send, oh, actually, no, we're going to do worker number 2 because worker number 1 can't do any more work actions. So worker number 2 is this one with the open canvas. So 1, 2, 3, all the way to the quiet sea. There is a risk here. We're going to work and we're going to pray at the same time. I do get 4 dice when going ahead for this gather. So the chances of getting some fish are extremely high. And I'm just trying to avoid getting 2 monster icons. I got 1. I got everything I needed. That's a full boatload of fish and no monster generated. Fantastic. That was a good decision. That's awesome. So 3-3, that's fantastic. So we got to put that attention token out. We didn't generate the other monster. Very risky, but that paid off. And now what we're going to do is we've run out of actions. So in the next turn, I'll be able to bring that worker back. For now, though, what I'm going to do is, and I know I wasted quite a bit of time on that stuff. The reason why I did was because I really, before we make the big attack against this guy, I want to get these healing bonuses, and I want to create these things, which I couldn't, and put them on Talora. So Talora's next turn is going to be all about workers coming back, getting a whole bunch of stat increases, and going out and standing behind Calamus as he makes attacks, and then hopefully bringing a bunch of workers with traps to hit this guy. We're just going to hammer him with so much damage. We're going to come over here to Calamus now, who's got 4 actions. So we'll take these 4 actions out. And I don't know why the scavenge die is way over here. And we're going to go ahead and spend these 4. Hopefully in the most productive way possible. So I want the yellow workers to be carrying my 2 traps because they move the fastest. In terms of this purple one, I don't need to move Calamus anywhere necessarily, but I need to make some decisions on what I think Calamus should do for his turn. So I'm going to go ahead and have Calamus use 1 interact action, and that's going to have him pull a quest card at Olston's Way, and we're going to hope for something decent. Hopefully not a monster. Brace the walls. The enemy has attacked the northern wall. We need good, strong timber from the ironwood trees. Find them and bring them back here as quick as you can. Take 5 lumber to the City of Kings. Rewards. Hey, technically we have that right now. We've got 6 lumber, sorry. And do we need, I guess we do need some of the lumber to build some of this stuff. So if I was to do that, it would leave me with 1, and that's really going to lower Talora's chances. Ugh. So this is a good quest to have, but I'm not going to resolve it yet. I'm just going to put it in this quest here, but we can also take 9 logs and get 2. That's pretty good too. So let's just keep that in mind as something we can potentially take advantage of here in the future. But at least it was something productive while Calamus was out there in a quest location. My other worker, I might as well go store up some ore again. I don't see any reason why not. However, now that I think about it, yeah, no, that makes the most sense. And I want to stay close to home. So let's have this guy move here for 1. So we're going to go ahead and use worker number 1 for a move, and then go ahead for a work action. I get 2 die, thanks to the gathering ability has gone up. And we're going to cross our fingers. Woo, 2. All right, that's not fantastic, but it's something. So 2 ore and thrown in there. I'm going to do another, probably my last work action. I'll go again one more time. See if we can generate some more. 3 and a tension token. All right. So we got 3. That's not bad. That's almost full. So next time we can bring, we're going to basically the next round that goes around, we're bringing a whole bunch of workers home, and we are definitely going to be start building some traps. That's going to be so much fun. Okay, so all of these are going to go back away, and that's it. All of our actions have been taken, and that is the end of the round. So we'll be jumping into the next one right away. All right, time to pick it up where we left off, which is to start with resolving the story, which we, again, are not going to do. We're going to go ahead with the time tracker here. We're going to move this to late morning. All the fire in the land's going to dissipate, but we don't have any. Then we're going to go ahead with player turns, and our wonderful boss, as we've mentioned multiple times before, not only that I knocked those over, is not going to activate because he's hiding in his tower like a chicken and won't do anything unless we are within range of him. And currently, Calamus is kind of hiding off the trail, not in an orthogonal pattern, so no way to range. So Talora's going to go first. We're going to take all the actions back. Man, does worker number 2 have a lot of fish to bring back to the City of Kings. That's phenomenal. So let's do it. Let's bring that worker home. So worker number 2 is going to make a move action, has 3 movements, so 1, 2, 3. Just like that, all of our fish drop in. This one fish we have drops up to 7. So we dump off 7 fish, and our old barn is becoming quite the producing monster at this point. Now at this point things get fun. I'm going to use one interact action in order to have Talora start building up the equipment on her, because it's this long overdue. We're going to go ahead one at a time and pick which ones we think are best. Now currently for legs, you can see there's 4 of them. There's one with luck dice involved, one for health, all that stuff. Now we know that if we're going to try to heal Calamus when the attacks begin, anything that can help heal is really important. Luck is huge because luck dice can add into a heal and an attack. So that's why the Beggar's Boots are really interesting to me, because if I come over here, I have absolutely no luck with Talora, so this is something I really want. Health sounds nice, healing sounds nice, but Talora has a decent heal already of 2. It would be fantastic to really bump that up even further with the luck dice. So I'm going to go ahead and get the luck dice, or the Beggar's Boots. So Beggar's Boots is going to be in the leg position. It's going to give 2 luck, so we're going to bump this up to 1. So my first luck dice, you can see 2 spaces still keeps it on 1, because it takes quite a bit to get up there. So the Beggar's Boots, and of course we have to drop our fish down by 1 for buying that. Our legs position is full. The only other thing we have is the head position, and we're definitely going to take this thing. Now I just remembered I can't actually wear this. Shoot! Rats! I've been gunning for that the entire time, and I just realized that I don't think, and I'm just double checking now, no, I don't have any stats that unlock the head slot for Talora, so she's not going to be able to wear this one. Shoot. That's too bad, and there's nothing I can really do about that right now. But, yikes, that's not going to help me at all. So she's just going to have to heal. Oh, this is nasty. Well, regardless, we might just have to continue on. So let's move on to the next thing. We can't do anything else. The trade district basically has nothing else that we need or can use that I can think of. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm probably going to have my workers start thinking about building these particular resources, the traps. How would we do that? We have 3 actions left to spend. All right, with 3 actions left to spend, we're going to have the first worker use a work action to spend 8 ore, which is going to drop this 7 completely out of the question, and then this 10 will become 9. So that's 8 ore totally spent in order to make a trap. That's right, we're making a trap, and we're going to be putting it on the worker that did this. So it's going to go right here, and this worker is now carrying this trap. Then we're going to go ahead with a second work action, but it's going to be on worker number 2, both of which are in the City of Kings, where you have to spend 8 ore in order to create this this particular resource, and it is called a trap, and we're creating another one. So we're going to drop this ore all the way down to 1, and now we've got 2 traps, which is the most you can possibly carry, and they're all here on both workers. So next we're going to take a move action, is what I'm thinking, and we're going to... Now, how fast does Talora move? Talora moves at a rate of 2, not terribly fast. So the question is, it might be worthwhile to get Talora up there with Calamus. Yeah, let's just move Talora first. How many moves is it going to take to get these guys there? 1, 2, 3. It'll take, or I could go 1, 2, 3 to stay out of range for my workers. Actually, it doesn't matter. He won't attack the workers, but as soon as they go in here and drop the traps, that's going to cause problems because they'll get stuck in there until we kill them, but that's okay. So 1, 2, 3, and then so it's going to be two actions. 1, 2, 3, and then 2. No, that'll work. That'll work perfect. So let's go ahead and take this action now on Talora. So we're going to go ahead and have Talora leave the City of Kings and go 1, 2 up here to Ulston's Way. So our heroes are on the move, heading towards our big bad. Now we're going to move over here to Calamus, who's got 4 actions to spend. And how does Calamus want to spend those actions? That is a good question. We still have our 1 worker here, so we might as well move that worker back to the City of Kings. So we're going to go ahead and have worker number 1 head back to the City of Kings. And that worker's going to drop off 5 ore, so that's good. It's going to drop us back up to 6 for ore. And we'll dump off all that payload back into the resource tray. Next up, we're going to... I could potentially interact to get a quest before we head out and do dangerous things. Oh, the other thing I could do, potentially, is I could step out, take a shot at him, and then step back. Might not be a bad idea. Might not be a bad idea at all. Although he does heal himself, which is really brutal. So I don't even... no, it's still worth it, I think. Still could be worth it. Let's try it. Let's go move with Earthshaker and then attack. So we're going to have Earthshaker move to here. What is Earthshaker's range again? My range is off the charts at 3, so I'm perfectly fine there. I've got the range, so I move and attack. Oh, but the thing is, that's the reason why it's not smart. You can't do those pot shots because once you move and attack, you're stuck out there and now you're going to be the target. And I don't want that just yet. I want those traps to be involved before I do that. So let's bring that back. So maybe instead I'll interact and we'll see what happens for a quest. Immediately roll, oh, this is a gambler's toll. You want to cross my bridge. You got to play cards with me. And the question is, how easy do you want me to go on you? Immediately roll 5 chance dice. Add up the total. 50% counts as 0. If you total 2 or more, you win. Or immediately roll 5 chance dice. Add up the total. 50%. And if you total 4 or more, you win 3. Let's go for the big one. Let's go for 3. I want the extra stat, and I want it right away. Let's be gamblers. So we're going to grab 5 of these, which is every single one of them, and we're going to cross our fingers that this pans out. This is going to be fun. So again, 50% don't count. So we're, there's not. I think it's 4 sides have a chance to basically be good. Oh, so close. We only needed 4 to win, so we didn't do it because we chose this one. Shoot, that's too bad. Well, it was worth a chance. So that's basically, and it's an individual quest. We did it, and we failed. So there's that. We have 2 more. Kind of fun to break that up with that. We have 2 more actions to spend. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to move Calamus to the Cave of Taluk, I think, at this point for 1 move. Even though I have more movement than that, I don't want to be in range for targeting. And then maybe what I'll do for a worker action is I'll send my worker number 1 back out. So I'll send my worker back out to the Granite Halls. And that's going to basically be it. Yeah, that's it. That's all 4 of my actions. Perfect, that is it, and we're going to move into the next round. Let's start another round. Now, one of the things I want to make mention of is I did fill in the temple slot here. I actually took 2 skill cards out of this area quite a ways back and forgot to replenish it. It doesn't matter more so yet because we're not up to tier 3 and tier 3 over here, but it's always good to replenish that and not forget, so I did, and I just replenished it with that card, so we're all good there. We're going to move on to the resolving of the story, which we won't do because the boss is still currently live, so we'll skip past that. Hekia is still there in the tower, the north wind. So we're going to move the time from late morning to midday. The poison is going to wane in the Ageless Realms. And now we're going to move to the player turns. So the player turns obviously are Talora. We have a boss over here. And again, not going to activate at all because no priority target can be found. And the creature activation, there's no abilities. Just so you guys are aware, the ability that is here, there is one that's imprinted on the card. We talked about this way earlier. It's called Fury, and it's going to have special abilities be pulled out of the easy bag every single time we actually put damage on this character. So when we start fighting it, it's going to gain an ability. Now, where that's going to come into play strategy-wise is my hope is I'm going to take my workers, and as I try to get closer to this individual, I'm going to have to place my traps close around where my heroes are and place them in advance so that this guy, if he eventually gets an ability that allows him to move, he'll move into damage. But one thing I want to make note of is if I go ahead with one of these workers, which currently they both have a trap, I cannot move my worker into their space and then use a work action to drop the trap. Once you're in a space with a monster or a boss, you are essentially trapped, or your actual workers are kind of hindered or stopped from being able to do any actions whatsoever. So the strategy of just moving them there, dropping traps off and saying that they activated doesn't work. You have to kind of, this individual right now doesn't have any movement, but hopefully abilities will gain him movement, and we can strategically draw him into a trap, is my hope. So at this point, what we're going to do is start off the round with Talora. So Talora is going to go ahead and empty all the skill areas, so we got all the tokens available for her actions. The very first thing that I'm probably going to do is likely... This is really interesting. So first off, all our characters are full health. It makes sense to get our workers moving out there. They move 3, so 1, 2, 3, so it might make sense to get them both with Calamus for now. So both workers are going to move, so we're going to go ahead with a move action for worker 1 and 2, leaving us with 3 to spend. So Talora, what does Talora want to do now? I gotta get ready for what Calamus is going to do this turn, which is step out and take a kind of a pot shot at this guy. So I want to make sure I'm in range. Now my range currently for Talora is a 2. So if I was to move Calamus here, I'm still in range in the future to help heal, so I don't have to go anywhere necessarily, so that's a good thing. I still have 3 to spend. I don't really need to do anything with my workers as they're full up and they've got traps on them. The only thing I could do is move with Talora. I could heal, but healing's pointless. It's kind of sad that Talora goes first. I'd love that Talora goes last, but that's not the way it works out. I can interact, so I could interact with a quest here, which could be worthwhile depending on whether or not the quest actually involves gaining anything, because if the quest happens to be pulled and it happens to actually trigger a monster, then that's going to be a whole different ball of wax, and we don't really want that necessarily, because of course if it triggers a monster then we're in a little bit of trouble. So we're going to go ahead now, and I'm probably going to go and grab a quest, because I can't see anything else that I can do with Talora, so... a little worried about that, actually. I just don't know. I don't know if I get a monster, it's going to really cause problems, but I don't want to waste an action. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to take this action here, and I'm going to, let's see, put this in the interact option for Talora, and we're going to go to the quest deck and see what we get. What is this? Dwarf Balancing. Okay. What does this say? The biggest dwarf in the village challenges you. He is known as the dwarf who can balance more than any other. How many can you stack? Option 1, immediately stack 5, vertically using only one hand, then draw 1 equipment card and balance it on top. What? Immediately stack 5 wood vertically using only one hand. Then draw 1 equipment card and balance it on top. If it falls, you fell. That's super hard. Immediately stack 7 and then draw 1 equipment card and balance on top if you fall. Oh my gosh. I wonder if I could do this. I don't even know if this table's level. Let's try for... If I go for 5, that's not really going to help me. I'm going to go for 3 at this point. This is going to be quite interesting. So basically we're going to take 7 wood and we're going to do a dexterity, I guess, kind of challenge, which is interesting. So obviously when you're stacking them, we have to stack them vertically, as it says, because there's no other way that you could possibly stack these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to stack 7 of these with one hand. Well, I'm filming with one hand, so I should be okay there. Here's hoping I grab the ones that are flat, because I could be in trouble. So let's go like that. Let's make sure that the bases are somewhat well set. I'm super scared about this. It's going to get tougher and tougher as I go up, as I get more and more fidgety with my hands. Okay, I don't like that. Okay. Oh my gosh, we're going up to 4. Let's see if we can do this. Yikes. Okay, going to 5. This is where my hands start getting way more jittery. What the heck is jitty? Oh my gosh. This whole thing's shaking. Oh, my base is gone. That's not good. As you can see on the other side around here, I'm jutting out on the side now, so that's not good. I might have to rebalance that by... Oh, this is scary. Oh, wow. Okay. Actually, blowing is bad. Blowing is bad. What am I doing? Yeah, that's how you lose, is start blowing. Oh my gosh, come on. I have to put a card on top of this? I'm so scared to drop this. Okay, all right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and if I'm just going to read this quickly. Wow, I don't know if I can actually do this. Immediately stack 7 vertically using only one hand, then draw 1 equipment card and balance it on top. That's ridiculous. How am I going to balance a card on top of that? Okay, so here's my equipment card. One-handed, putting this on top. Here we go. Trying for right in the middle. That's the best I can do. Don't fall over. No! It was so close. I was super close on that. Oh, I actually felt for a second like it was going to stay. And then it's one of the edges stuck to my middle finger just a little bit too long. Oh, that's painful. That was so close. Oh well, that was still pretty fun though. Obviously, I'll take this one and throw it on the bottom. I don't even know what it is, but I'll put it on the bottom of this pile. That's too bad. So that didn't really pan out. So that has been resolved and discarded. Well, I mean, it was entertaining, at least for you guys. You guys probably got a good laugh at that. So I got 2 more to use. I don't really know what I'm going to use them for. I don't have any reason to attack or heal. I could move... So here's the thing. Here is the thing. If I move out and make an attack, this boss right now doesn't have the ability to attack all. So if I move out and sit here, and I put Calamus out here, when the priority target's being found out, it's a hero in range. It's a hero in range of the creature, and of course we'll both be in range if I step out. Then it'll be the hero in range with the highest max health, and Calamus definitely has the most max health. So technically he'd be targeted. So I should actually have Talora come out and take a shot, because Calamus will be the target if I happen to actually go out and fight. So let's do that. Let's actually do that. I think that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. So let's take a move action with Talora, and then we're going to move Talora into unexplored territory, which we're allowed to do, and then we're going to go ahead and make an attack. Now, Talora does not have the type of attack that everybody else does, but Talora does have 1 luck die on top of the 1 attack, so not that great. We're going to roll a luck die. Now, you have to remember, this individual, this boss, has 2 shields right off the bat, and I'll take 2 damage when I go ahead and try this. But you know what? I don't know if it's worth it. I don't even know if this was worth it, to be honest. With going after it with 1 hit, who knows? But I guess anything is better than nothing, maybe? Oh, wait, the other downside is if I do this, it draws an ability. Is it worth it for me to anger this boss and cause it to have fury just to get a tiny piddly hit on it? Like probably 1 or 2. I don't think so. I'm going to scratch that idea. Going back. So I'm moving back. I'm not doing the attack. Forget that. I'm not risking it to put an ability on it. That's just going to help him out. Special watch. Ooh, does my special do anything? Oh, no, it says incoming basic attacks are reduced by 1. Well, that's no good. Okay. I have 2 to use, and I'm just not... I have nothing I can use them for. I can't use them on any worker stuff. I could explore... Actually, I could explore... I guess the risk being that if I happen to explore and the tile ends up being something that's actually going to punch out a creature, that would be really bad and would really slow things down. So that's not a good idea either. Shoot, maybe I just burn these to be safe. So, you know what? For the first time ever, I'm not doing anything with these. So I'm just going to lay them over and say I'm not doing anything with them. Sad, I know. We're coming over here to Calamus. I always want to call him Calamus. I don't know why. It's just a weird thing. So anyway, 4 actions. How do we want to do this? Well, the first thing we're going to do is we know we're going to end up moving out, and then we're going to make an attack. I can make 1 more attack, or I can heal my... Actually, you know what? I'm going to want to heal myself because the retribution I get from him is 2 from the reflect damage. So I'm going to want to heal. So I'm going to want to be able to move, attack, and then heal. And then I'll have 1 extra left over. Maybe we can use it for gathering ore or something like that. So let's do that. Let's do a move action. We're going to brave the elements here. I'm going to put myself here at Vestin's Curse. And then we're going to go ahead and make an attack. My attack's much better with Calamus than it is with anyone else. So 5 damage. This is worth it to me. Luck die, I get 1 luck die. Hopefully that's really going to impact my attack. I'm hoping. Remember, this guy has 2 defense. So here we go. 5 and 1. So 6. I get 6 total, but the defense comes into play. So 4 damage is all that he's going to take. So he's going to go from 25 down to 21. The reflect damage is going to kick in, so I automatically take 2 damage, sadly. One thing I want to check, though, really quick is I didn't use this, and I probably should use this right now. I forgot about this. Instill Fear. Place a single -1 attack token on a creature in range. I'm going to pretend I did that in advance, because I actually just forgot about that. So I'm going to use my action here on the special to use this special ability to place 1 -1 attack marker. This is actually going to make his attack much less. So let's see if I can flip this to the right side. There's a negative. And these stack. So I can put a number of these on this guy. So I've stacked him with -1. So again, that's only going to stop him when he does his basic attack. That drops down his 6 to a 5. It's not going to impact the reflect damage. So the reflect damage that I got hit with still applies. Now with my last one, I'm going to use a heal on myself, and I can heal myself 2, which is enough to bring myself from the reflect damage right back to 8. The reason I need to do that is because he is going to activate next round. He's going to hit me for 6, and I'm going to need to stay alive, and I'm hoping Talora can, well, I'll be kind of doing this site. I'm gonna need some help here. Actually, you know what? It'll be perfect because he'll activate, hit me like a ton of damage, like 6, and then Talora will activate and hopefully heal me. So that's it for this round. We're gonna move on. Again, we're gonna go back to resolving a story, which we skip. We're gonna go to the time tracker. We're gonna move this to afternoon now. All the ice is going to dissipate. We don't have any. Now we're going to come around and we're going to activate this monster for the first time. Priority target is obviously going to be Calamus. So this attack is going to happen. So the first thing that's going to happen with this guy is he's going to resolve impairments. He has none. This is not an impairment. This is actually just like impairments like poison or something like that. So this is just a minus off his attack from a special ability. He's going to heal. So he has a +2 heal. So he's going to jump from 21 back to 23 because he's a pain in our sides. He's going to do a basic attack, which I've mentioned before is a 6, and he has a range of 9, so he's not going to have to worry about hitting us at all. He definitely does. So I don't have any defense except for the -1, so only 5 hits me. 5 is still a ton. So I'm down to 3, but I'm still surviving, so that's good. I'm really glad I grabbed that particular special because that was really powerful. It's going to be, and the cool thing is it stacks. I can keep doing it every round, which I'm going to do. So he hit me big time. We go to attack all now, but he doesn't have any attack all, which is the multiple swords in the stat bar. He doesn't have that. Special abilities at this point. Oh, sorry. One thing I forgot to do is his fury. So let me just double check to see when that officially activated, because that might have happened the second I hit him last round. So he'd have it right now. When this creature takes damage from a basic attack or special attack, add green, but yes. So he should have a special ability on him from Fury. So let's not forget that and get that on him. I should have done that after I inflicted damage. This is what makes him nasty. He's going to keep stacking abilities. He got Curse, and that's 12. That doesn't sound good at all. So I'm not too sure what Curse does, but we have to find this out and resolve it right now. So we're going to go here. Take a look at Curse. So it says, place 1 Curse token on the priority target's character sheet. A hero may only have 1 Curse token on their character sheet at any time, and Curse equals 50% healing. Oh, that's terrible. That's really, really bad. Now, I don't know. I'm guessing, I think these ones are curses. I could be totally wrong on that. I'm going to have to double check at the front of this rulebook really quick. Yes, it is. This is a Curse token. You will only have 1. Only allows me to get 50% healing. That's terrible. Okay, so he's cursed me now. He's going to be slowing my healing abilities, which is really bad. So that's been resolved. Now we're going to go ahead, and the next thing that he's going to deal with, or deal to us. Actually, that's essentially it. That is the creature activation in full. So he's done. And he didn't get anything that would involve moving, so that's too bad. That's not going to help us with our traps that we'd like to set and use. Until he gets that, we're not be able to use their traps. So now we're going to go ahead and begin our turn with Talora. Now Talora's got a lot more things she can do, and that is probably going to be heal me like crazy. So the first thing she's going to do is a heal. She heals for 2, and she rolls 1 luck die. So we're hoping for good things for Calamus, but remember, it's only going to be a 50% healing because I'm cursed. So do I only get 1 from that? Is that how that works? I think so. So I only get 1 healing back. That's terrible. And then we're going to go ahead and roll this again because I'm going to heal a second time. This is really bad. Oh my goodness. So that's 2 heal, which is 50% is only 1. So that's going to be 5. Did I move that twice? All right, I did double check that, and yes, I was on 3, and then I got 2 heal on the first roll and a 2 heal on the next roll because I failed on both my luck dice, and 2 heals coming from Talora in this situation. So Talora, thank you for those 2 heals, but it ends up only being 1 each, so 3 to 4 to 5, and I'm done. So we still have 3 actions here with Talora, and we gotta make some decisions on how we want to do this. It might make sense, based on Calamus probably landing in this location all the time, to just send our workers here and have them drop off this stuff and get them out of here. So let's do that. I'm going to force this individual to come to this location at some point in time. So what we're going to do is we're going to move the worker number 1 and the worker number 2 to this location here. Actually, you know what? I don't want to get trapped by anybody. I only want to do what I can spend, or I only want to move and be able to drop. So I'm going to move this worker, and it's going to be worker number 1, so it's this one here. It's going to move here, and then I'm going to use a work action, which is going to allow me to drop the trap. So the trap is now in this area, so that's fantastic. There's a lot of stuff going on there, so I'll just put that trap in there like this. Okay, perfect. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I have this last action, which I could do. What can I do? I could move out of the way. Like I could actually move Talora closer, further away, that kind of thing. Talora is currently technically on a quest, so I could risk it and see whether or not a quest actually ends up being worthwhile. Maybe I just keep doing that and keep milking that situation. So let's do a interact and do a quest and see what we get. Deep pockets. The city needs to pay the artisans for all this labor. Why does Lord something always think that we White Helm dwarves have all the money? Huh? Well, maybe there might be a little bit left in the diamond halls. Go bring back what you can. Just leave crowns. Oh, wow. Oh, geez. That's pretty good, actually. I could do that right away, almost, I think. Yeah, actually, let me think about this. So I have running low up here, which says ore and 2 fish. Let's do this now. What am I waiting for? I'm going to complete right now both of these quests. This one here says take 5 ore, and to the City of Kings I have 5 ore, and this one says 5 ore and 2 fish. So I'm going to drop 2 fish down to 4, and I'm going to take, I don't have enough ore for both. Shoot, I thought I did. Is there any way to split that up? No, there's not. Shoot. Okay, never mind. Let me think about this. Do I have anything else that can give me experience points? Ooh, I have the lumber. So I could do lumber for... I have, how much lumber? 6? I could do this one for 1 XP. I'm trying to get 3 XP so I can get to this next level, so the traps do even more damage as well. What should I do? What should I do? I might as well burn all of my resources so I can get some XP. That wouldn't be bad, I think. I say that now, I'll probably regret it. 3 ore, 2 fish to get 2 XP. Oh, that's really good, actually. So 3 ore, 2 fish. 1, 2. So I have 3 ore left. I couldn't do that then, but I could do the log. So yeah, if I do these 2 together, I can do it. So we'll leave the deep pockets one out. We're going to complete the top section of this one, which is 5 logs to City of Kings. I've done that. I'm going to drop this down to 1. And we're going to go ahead and take a reward of 1, which is going to drop us to 16. Doesn't give us any benefits on our characters yet, but we do get a new card in the trade district. It is the Moon's Anger. Oh, that's nice, but wow, do we ever need a lot of stuff for that? Okay, so that's going to sit up here. And then we're going to, that was a log one, done. And then we're going to do the top section of this one. So 3 ore, 2 fish. 1, 2, 3. And this one is 2 XP, and boom, we're at level 9. Awesome. So now we can actually upgrade our characters. That's fantastic. And we get another skill disc unlock, so we can decide where we want to put that. Oh, look at this. Oh, that's so good. I can get another heart for him if I want. Now over here, the one I probably want the most would be maybe a skill. So it says, anytime after a basic attack damages you, you may heal a hero in range. Oh, that's good. But... yeah, you know what? That might be worth it once we keep weakening him with Calamus's attacks. I'm going to go for that. I'm going to go for Stigmata. All right, for Talora. And then over here on Calamus, I'm probably going to go for the health, unless this is amazing. The Earth Prison. Creatures on your current location tile cannot move. No, I'm going to skip that one. I want the health. I want the max health to go up. So I'm going to bump myself up health. Now I can go up or over. So do I want this one, which is heal a hero in range, including yourself, for 3? That sounds amazing. I want to get close to that. This one over here is just about resources. I don't care about that right now. So this is going to automatically bump my max health to 9. And when that happens, I gain the 1 health that comes along with that bump up. So now I'm at 6. That's pretty good. Actually, you know what? That's going to keep me alive on its own. So that's great. What do we do now? So that is, I think that's it. That is everything for Talora right now. So that's perfect. And actually, you know what? That works so flawlessly because That works out flawlessly because I have 6 health, and when I take my next attack from him, it's going to be 6 minus 1. Oh, but then I have reflect damage to deal with. I forgot about that. Reflex stuff is nasty, so I might only want to attack him once. Anyway, we're going to go ahead with the actions for Calamus. The first thing I'm going to do, of course, is do my special, which is Instill Fear. It's going to put another -1, so it's going to drop his overall attack again down to 4 on his basic attack. So it's making him less and less useful. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to attack him 100%. So this attack is going to be a damage of 5 plus my luck die. We're hoping for good things here. Please be good. Oh man, how many times have I failed on that? So I got 5. He has a defense of 2, so only 3 gets through. So that's going to take his 3 and drop it right off. Now he only has 20. He only has 20 health left. Okay, so it's not that crazy, but he does get a new ability. So we'll put a new ability on him, and then whatever it is, we'll look it up once he comes around to him again. Let's see what happens. We get a teleport. There it is. That's the kind of thing we need because he's going to teleport to me and get trap damage. That's perfect. Okay, so that's awesome. The strategy is working for now. So the other thing that happens to me is I'm going to take reflect damage. So 1, 2, and that reflect damage is 2 damage based on this reflect of 2 right there, which you can see from the reflection of the light right in it. Okay, so yeah, that's that. I have 2 more actions to do. Now I could attack him again, but it's not smart because I don't want to give him another ability. I've got the teleport ability, which is going to allow me to hurt him later. So what I'm going to do instead is, oh, and I'm just noticing now that one of my traps is in place and the other one isn't. Oh, that's right. I couldn't have gotten this guy over here to place the trap anyway. And the reason I didn't put him there is because he'll get gummed up when he teleports. So that's perfect. That worked out perfectly fine. I've got 2 over here. I'm going to use 1 to heal myself because I do not want to get in trouble. Now, the downside is I'm cursed. So the other thought, too, is do I run away? I could run away, but he has teleport. And if I'm not mistaken, teleport allows him to just bounce to a character right away. It might have to be a priority target, but I'll have to double check that. So I'm going to do that right now. Yes, and as you can see right here, teleport says the creature instantly moves to the priority target's location, ignoring any effects. So only if it has a priority target will it move and teleport. So that's perfect. If I send Calamus back to the City of Kings to get rid of this curse, the problem is though is that this curse is going to constantly keep coming back anyway, so it's not worth it because this silly ability on his card is going to keep putting it on him. So I might as well just forget about it and do my best to heal. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to heal at this point. It's going to be a heal of 2, but I do get a single luck die on this. So we'll see what happens with that. Based on my rolling in the last little bit, it hasn't been too good. So we're going with 2, and we're hoping for perfect 4. We're up to full health. That was fantastic. Oh, breathing a big sigh of relief on that roll. Okay, so the next one is I might as well get my worker working. I don't think I see, unless I want to move. Unless I want to move out of the way. Yeah, you know what? I don't want to be there for him to attack me. That'd be silly. Yeah, that would be silly. Although if he moves in, then he gets hit by the trap. But I don't have both traps set. So I'm gonna move out this. This is tough. Yeah, I'm gonna move out. I don't want to get hit. So I'm gonna move out. Yeah, I can't. I got a really good heal. I can't risk this. So I'm gonna go move out to go back to there. So now I'm no longer in range of him. So that'll be that. That's the end of this particular round. We go to the next round. The next round is going to be resolving story. We skip it. We're going to move from the afternoon to the evening, as you can see here. Then we're going to come down and go ahead over to him. He's got curse and teleport. Of course, he has to have priority targets for both of them, including curse. I'll double check that. It says place 1. Yep, priority target. So it only has to be priority for those 2 special abilities. So, but the one thing that will happen for him is he's going to heal this time. So he's going to heal up to 22, which is unfortunate for us because he gets 2 for every heal he gets, which is not fun. So he's slowly making his way back up. He's kind of a pain, really. Does he have anything else that will happen? No. So that is it. We're back to Talora. Now, Talora's biggest thing is getting that trap set. We're going to get both these traps set and just hammer him. So let's do worker number 2 for a move and then worker number 2 for a work action. So we're going to send this worker right here to here. We're going to drop this trap. Now we have 2 traps there and they're set and ready to go. Next up, I'm going to probably have those workers get out of there so that they don't inflict any damage. So 1 move action and 1 move action. Where do I want to send them is the question. Probably somewhere useful for resources, so that doesn't have a lot of attention yet, which kind of everywhere does almost. Except for the wood area. So maybe I'll send this guy 1, 2, and I'll send this one, let's see, 1, 2, we'll go to here, go all the way over to here, I guess. We'll do that. Okay, because they have 3 movement at max. All right, so that's that. I still have 1 more action to spend. My special's useless. My attacking and healing don't need it on anybody. Exploring. I could do the quest again. That's the fun part. Do I risk doing a quest and seeing what it is? I keep doing this. I could be shooting myself in the foot every single time. Because if a monster shows up, I'm really going to gum things up. But screw it. Let's do it. Sleep tight. Overnight, we've had an influx of refugees to the city, but where is the quartermaster going to put them? Every spare bed and blanket in the city is already being used. We need linen before tonight. Okay, cool. We can get some XP if we do that. So if we get some linen at some point, might have to get to a scavenge area because I don't have any linen out there. Okay, that is it for Talora's turn. Now we're going to come over here to Calamus' turn. I've got 4 actions, and this is where it gets fun. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to take this 1 action, and I'm going to move, and then I'm going to attack again. So we're going to move back here, and we are going to attack again. We've got 5 attack, and we've got that luck die that's been failing us so badly, except for the last one, which was perfect. So here's hoping this pans out. Fingers are crossed. Oh, I can't really cross my fingers. Oh my. I cannot win with this thing when I do an attack. So that's 5 damage, but as normal, he's got a shield, so that's going to block 2 of it, so only 3 gets through. So I've knocked him down from 22 to 19 now. So slowly hitting him. But again, when I do that, I'm giving him another ability, making him even more powerful. This is terrible. Poison Bolt. Nasty. This is a 33, so I'll put the 54 over here, because we're going to resolve these in order. Alright, we know what Poison Bolt's going to do. He's going to throw poison on me. That's not good. So that's that. I'm going to take some reflect damage for hitting him. So that's 2 that I can't block. So that's that. That was my attack. Now I'm going to heal because I want to make sure that I'm always at full health. So I'm going to heal, 50% heal because I'm cursed. I do get 2, but I get a 1 luck die to roll. Please be good. Yes, I got 3, and so that's 1.5 if you 50% it, and then round up is 2. 2 is exactly what I need to get back up to full health. All right. Whew. Okay. Last thing I have here is a couple... my special. I'll use my special, which is going to be a -1 attack. So I'm slowly whittling his attack down to, well, as much as low as I can possibly get it. So now he's at a -3 on his attack. So that's even better. Oh, okay, so he's getting really weak now, which is great, which means I should be able to hang around a little longer, and I'm going to stay exactly where I am. So that's going to end this current round. All right, here we go into the next round. So the next round is going to be at the start of the story resolving. We're going to skip past that. We're going to go to the time. Oh, look at this. The end of the second last stage just hit. It's midnight. So we're going to lose all poison markers on the map everywhere. Sadly, I don't have any poison. But I'm going to take away 1 attention marker from every location that has one. So there we go. Depleting all those down. That's good for our workers anyway. And then, of course, 1 hope's going to drop. So we're down to 1. We're only 1 day away from losing. Fantastic. So 1 more time around the clock and it's over. So what we're going to do at this point is I'm going to... double check my quests here. Oh yeah, no, that's no good. I can't do any of those. Okay, 1 at the cave. I haven't done either of those yet. Okay, the other thing I forgot to do way back was when I was at the City of King. I think I can actually trade in 3 of those item parts in order to get a trade district item. I hadn't done that yet. It's not going to affect me yet, so I'm going to wait till my heroes are back there because it doesn't matter, or whether I'm at a shop. So I'll wait on that, but I can do that later. So we're going to go ahead with the wonderful Hekia. And this individual has curse, all kinds of nasty stuff. So anyway, the first thing that we're going to do with this individual is there is going to be a priority target, and it's obviously going to be Calamus. So Calamus is getting hit. So the basic attack will happen first, which is a basic hit of 6, but it's -3. So it's only 3 damage coming across to me. So it's only down to 5. Not that bad. The next thing that's going to happen is we're going to resolve all of the special abilities on this individual, but we're also going to be healing as well. So the heal is going to take him from 19 back to 21, sadly. So we're making very minor chips at his armor because of his silly heal. Now the first thing that's going to trigger is the curse, but you can't be cursed more than once. So I'm just going to double check to make sure that's true. Yeah, only one on their sheet at a time. The next one is the Poison Bolt. Now the Poison Bolt is definitely going to hurt me. What does the Poison Bolt do? The Poison Bolt is place 1 weak poison token on the map tile the creature's priority target is currently on. So yeah, that's going to end up on my character. So now I'm cursed and poisoned. Nasty. So I'm going to be taking some serious damage going forward. And then lastly is Teleport. So Teleport is going to happen now. And this is what we wanted. It says the creature instantly moves to the priority target's location, ignoring any effects on the board. So as soon as this creature moves into this area, I am choosing at this point, as it states in the rules, and I'm going to show you guys because I don't want you guys to think that I'm doing this and cheating, but this was all part of my wonderful plan, was to hope that I would land this exact combination. I'm just going to find this exact spot in the rule book so you can see it. So it says right here, workers can use a work action to remove a temporary structure. Temporary structures are one of those things. A trap is one of them. Once a temporary structure is on a tile, it can be activated by any player at any time, as it does not cost an action. Once activated, remove the token from the board from the below. So traps instantly reduce the health of one creature on the same tile as the trap by X, and then remove the token. So this is going to hit this guy for my level of what I'm currently at, which is 9, which means I'm hitting him for 18 damage. And this is not damage that can be blocked using defense. That's the real difference. Shield or defense is only against basic attacks, essentially. So this trap damage is 18 literal damage hit against him, which is going to take him from 21 down to 3, which is crazy. So we've almost killed him. Both of the traps obviously have to be removed from the board at this point, but just like that, we got him down. So those traps were invaluable. You can see how important those were and how much I needed that ore to make those happen. So now this individual is on the map with me, and but he's also very, very weak. So his turn has gone through the gauntlet. Like we've already gone through, we've done everything we can for this individual. We've healed him. We did our basic attack against Calamus. We did all special abilities on him. So we're done, and we're moving into Talora's turn. So Talora is going to pull all the actions out of her pile here so we can make some choices. I'm going to want to help heal Calamus for sure. I am in range, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to do a heal action. She's got 2 and the ability to roll a luck die. We're going to see what happens. Of course, I'm 50% heal, so that's not that great. And classic. So nothing, but I did get a 2, which ends up being a 1, so I go to 6. And then I'm going to do it one more time because I want to do my best to try to help my friend out. Finally, got a 3. A 3 heal ends up being 50% is 1.5, and you round up, so it ends up being 2. So that ends up healing me fully. Oh, okay, so now that plan worked out flawlessly. Now what we're gonna do is I might have my guys do some work. So I'm gonna actually have worker number 1, which is right here, do some ore work. So that's gonna be 4 gather dice, and we're gonna see if we get lucky here. Hopefully we don't draw a monster tile, that'd be bad. But there is no monsters there right now, or no attention tokens there right now. There we go. Consider that a full load of ore for gatherer number 1 or worker number 1. That's fantastic. Best roll I could have gotten. All right, so that's done. And then now we're going to do the exact same thing on worker number 2, except we're going for wood this time. Come on. There we go. So we did get 1 attention, but we filled up completely with wood. That's fantastic. Looks like things are turning around nicely. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Awesome. Yep, that's 3, 4, 5, 6. That's perfect. Okay, and we still technically have 1 action left. I might as well bring one of them home. Which one's going to give me some type of skill or bonus? This one's linen. This one right here gives me, if I have 9 ore, let's do that, because I have 3, 6 would be 9. Let's bring home worker number 1, which is this guy. So we're going to bring him home. We're going to move this worker in. We're going to bump this to 9. We're going to dump out the payload that we got from that worker. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to resolve that quest. And that quest is called Deep Pockets. We're going to go for 9. We'll get 2 experience and 2 more cards in the trade district. Fantastic. So we're jumping up here to 20, which is great. And we're going to go ahead and grab 2 more cards. This has been resolved. The next 2 cards are the Fratical Bow. That looks absolutely amazing, although I need lots of linen that I don't have. And the next one is the Eyes of Emirin. Very cool, very cool. That's actually a really good one. Some great stats on that one. So there we go. Some more things that we can create in the trade district. Fantastic. Okay, and that's essentially, let me think, is that all? I think that's all. Yes, that's everything. So, at this point, let me see here. That is the quest resolved. That was the last worker move back, so that's good. Now we're going to come back over here to Calamus. So Calamus is going to get my 4 actions out for Calamus. Now, at the very beginning of my turn, I lose a health because I'm cursed, so I drop down to 7. And it's at 1 damage because I'm like weakened cursed, not fully cursed. Okay, so we have 4 actions to take. It'd be stupid not to attack him. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Is going to attack him. We're going to do an attack, which is going to be 5 damage, plus the luck die, which I've been asking to give me good results forever. Please do it now. Thank you. 5, 6, 7, and he blocks 2, which ends up being 5 damage total on him. He's dead. He is gone. We have killed Hekia. He is off the board. That is awesome. Goodbye, Sir Boss. You have been destroyed, and we are going to gain 3 XP from that. That's awesome. That's going to bump us up a level as well. So this boss has now been removed. So we've actually completed the chapter now because we had to defeat him and all visible creatures. We've done that. We're going to be bumping this up 1, 2, 3, which means we each get a stat cube increase as well. So I'll take this and put this aside for now. That's resolved. This guy is out of here. Oh, that was so good. Now what we're going to do is bump up our stats. What stat do you think I should go for? You know what? We're almost at the point of getting the arms equipment for Calamus, so let's do it. Let's push it to 10, and now we've unlocked arms, and I also gain a health when I do that. So there's my cube increase for him. Over here, probably the biggest weakness on Talora is Talora's attack, but also Talora's really good at healing. So maybe what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue pushing the healing element on her. Get her as like a really strong healer. Because this worked out really well. Okay, so that's that. That's it. That's the end of the round. So technically, guys, as of right now, you've just witnessed the defeat of Hekia. Totally taken out of the Tower of the North. I never thought this individual would actually get pulled out of the tower, but regardless, it was. And now been taken down, and we are going to, in the beginning of the next episode, we are going to go ahead and begin, well, let's see what actually happens right now. So technically right now we'd be starting a new round, so let's see what it says. It says defeat it, and it says you win. You may stop now or continue playing and attempt the heroic challenge. So you guys don't know what the heroic challenge is, but I'm going to check with you guys to see whether you think it's something worth doing or not. This is called the heroic challenge. You're going to let me know if you think I can do this. It says, at the Tower of the North Wind, after fighting Hekia and her bloodletters, you find a scroll in the dark Orcish script. What is this filth? The Vandorian High Priestess Talora is adamant she will not touch the parchment. It has a greasy, almost soft feel that makes you think of hide or skin. I cannot read it. The dwarf Thrar is just as eager not to go near. In the end, it seems that only Calamus has the sturdy stomach and the skills to be able to read it all. I didn't realize that the 2 characters I chose were actually going to be like written into this first story. That's pretty cool. It says that there are other enemy encampments in Azira Rise, and Hekia was meaning to supply them. Calamus murmurs, you know what you must do. Find them all and put an end to them. Objective, explore all map tiles in the Ageless Realms and Azira Rise and defeat all visible creatures. You have earned a heroic victory. You may stop now or continue playing and attempt the legendary challenge. Holy, so it doesn't even end here. Do you guys want to see more? That's my question. I'd like to know whether you'd like to see more of this particular game or if we should stop here for sake of spoilers. That's a really tough call to make because I don't want to go so far that it ruins too much of what's to come in the game for people looking to play. I hope this playthrough did a fantastic job to this point of helping you show how to play it, but I'd like to know your opinion on whether you think we should do this heroic challenge or I should try to attempt this, or if we should say, you know, enough, we've seen enough of the story at this point, and this is, you know, good enough to help you guys take the game and run with it from here. So let me know in the comments below. Also give me a thumbs up if you like what you saw. Thank you so much for the support thus far. You guys are amazing. And as always, keep on rolling solo.